Truett, this looks like a metal roof from the street, but there's something different. What is this roof?
Yes, sir. This looks like a metal roof, but it's actually the Tesla solar roof.
Oh baby, today's build show, Tesla solar roof. Let's get going.
Here you're looking at two different tiles. So we actually have a performing tile, so it's actually taking advantage of the UV rays and converting it into energy.
Okay.
And that you can see.
Oh, you got fooled. It's actually the non-performing tile. Let's leave that in. I like it. It is hard to tell, guys. This is the performing tile, and what Truett just had is the non-performing tile. And the only reason he could tell was we flipped it over and realized, oh, this doesn't have the connections.
That's funny,
right?
Yeah.
Do you know how these are made? From what I remember reading about it, this front face is some type of special glass.
Yes, sir.
And then probably there's a laminate because it appears to be a metal substrate underneath.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's similar to the windshield on your car. So if you have impact on the front side, the structure can still stay intact from the back side because it has that metal backing.
Okay, that makes sense. So in theory, you have a big enough hailstorm, you might be able to crack these, but you're not going to break through. It's not going to be like shattering a tempered glass door, let's say, where all that glass falls to the ground and you could walk right in the house.
Correct. Although my roofer has actually also told me that they've had softball size hail hit these tiles and have had no problems.
Dang, that's pretty impressive.
Yes, sir.
Now, on this house in particular, were you worried about when you were designing it, which roofs are facing which direction, right? Because we don't have a rack to kind of move and integrate. We're dealing strictly with pitch. Did you design this roof initially, or design the house, I should say? You guys are design build with the solar roof in mind?
No, sir. We actually were planning to just do a metal standing seam roof.
Okay.
And then the client wanted to change to the Tesla roof. And so on Tesla's end, they engineer it where they determine exactly how many performing tiles they need based on like the last 12-month weather patterns. And there's various other calculations involved with that.
That's pretty wild. And how much solar is actually this roof going to produce? Do you know how big the array is?
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is about a 50 kW
Holy
roof.
cow, that's a lot of solar. Sir. Now, this is not a small house either here, but 50 kW, that's a lot of these panels, I suspect. And I was talking to your roofer before we started, K-Pace Roofing, and it looks like this is pretty straightforward. When these panels go in, these actually connect to the adjoining panels.
Yep.
And then ultimately you're going to run this DC power, the panels are producing DC, through some conduit into your garage where the inverters are going to live. Is
correct.
That right?
Yes, sir. And it'll take that DC power, invert it to AC, and then the batteries will actually receive AC power and send that to the house.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Talk to me about install. How different is this, and where do you start on install with this roof compared to let's say a metal roof?
You know, it's really not too difficult to install. That's one of the benefits of it. Obviously, you start with your underlayment, which Tesla has its own underlayment that they specify that just sticks on.
Yep.
And in our case, the underlayment, they just applied it right on top of the previous underlayment that we had for the metal roof.
Now, the underlayment that I saw that you showed me, man, it feels pretty bomber. I don't know the exact specs, but it looks to be like a really thick 40 or maybe more mil thick, probably high temperature asphaltic based, ice and water shield like we would use all over the place.
Yes, sir.
And then what's interesting about this system, Truett, is that it kind of naturally has an air gap underneath the panels by this clip system.
Yes,
Can you talk to me about that at all?
Yes, sir. Yeah. We do have an air gap underneath these panels. So if you do have rain or anything coming through, it's going to have plenty of airflow to dry that out.
And in effect, it's a rain screen roof system, right? Just
Correct.
like you and I are installing claddings on walls with an air gap behind it. This roof is the same way. Pretty ingenious, though. This panel is how they connect up. Let's see if I can do it on camera here. But there's a hook that catches, it snaps in, and I'm hearing that this could even potentially get pulled later. Is that true? Is
That's
that what
correct.
you've heard as well?
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty easy. You just snap these off, and then pull the tile out, pretty much.
How about that? You know, your roofer mentioned that he might actually give me a demo of that. Let's go check that out. A little bit of a tough climb to get up on that roof, so we're gonna let the drone film this. But the roofer K-Post tells me that these panels, because they clip together, you could actually, if you had a problem in the future, if you needed to service something or do something, you can actually unclip a middle panel. How crazy is that? I mean, it's not easy if you've got a double lock standing seam metal roof to try and get one of those panels off. It's not easy to pull a shingle or a tile, but this supposedly can be unclipped to do service. So we're gonna watch from the drone and see them do that. Man, that's pretty sweet, Truett, that you can actually pull a panel in the center. I also really liked, the roofer was telling me that you actually have 2 roof jacks. So like where you had a plumbing vent on the other side here, you've got a plumbing penetration flashing, but you also have another one underneath at the deck level. And with that 1.5-inch air gap, I suspect this actually would be a pretty energy efficient roof because you've got that space for any heat buildup on this black roof to kind of dissipate out, right?
Correct, yes sir. Yep, we spray our ceilings with foam. So having that extra air gap above the tiles gives plenty of room for ventilation and keeps the inside of the garage nice and cool.
I love it. So conditioned attic in this house. Also, random side note here, notice you're doing Zip 2.0 on your house. Nice job. Looks like some really good details there. But back to the tiles, I'm curious, can you give us any idea of cost on these, Truett? You know, you've been building for years, and I've been friends with you guys for more than a decade. I've seen you guys put clay tile on. I've seen you put metal on. You're not typically doing asphalt shingles on your house, but give me some idea of range of cost for this.
Yes, sir. Yeah, obviously it's going to depend on the circumstance, the size, how many performing tiles versus non-performing tiles.
Yeah.
But in general, at least in this application, it was about 3 to 4 times the cost for the Tesla compared to the metal.
Okay.
However, once you factor in the 30% federal tax credit, you're going to see that number reduce. And you also have to factor in the fact that you're receiving less electricity costs because of the solar.
That's pretty awesome. And this is a multi-decade roof, right? Impact resistant. This glass is not breaking down in the sun. This is a really impressive roof. I also thought it was interesting that the some of the details, for instance, a little hard to see here from the ground, but the edge panels, those are 24 gauge Kynar painted metal. The valleys where you can see them, those are 24 gauge metal as well. So you've got a really bomber roof system that's going to last, I would suspect, at least 50 plus years. This is not going to get changed out when a Texas hailstorm comes through.
This system is very durable because it has a class 3 hail rating, which is if you drop an 1.75 inch steel ball 20 feet above, it should not shatter.
Wow.
So there's your hail rating, and then it also has a class A fire rating, which is the best fire rating.
How about that? You know, Truett, I actually have a pretty similar product to a 1.75 inch steel ball. You don't happen to have any of these laying around in the dumpster that I could do a little rogue hail testing, do you?
Span panels, which are smart electrical panels.
You're doing span panels here.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
And so we're going to replace the 2 main 200 amp electrical panels with span panels.
Okay.
And the client will have control through the span app, and they will actually be able to see, okay, what all are my loads at this moment, and then they can actually turn off and on breakers from the app.
How about that?
That's one form of control. And another form of control is through the Tesla app itself. And that allows more customization with the actual, how the roof actually functions. So you can choose things like, when do you want to pull from the batteries? Do you want to pull from the batteries during peak hours so that you use less grid power when it's most expensive? That's a common thing that people would do. So there's various ways to customize through the app.
5 o'clock in July, that's when power is most expensive. Everybody's got their AC on at home
Exactly.
work. So that'd be a great time to pull from the batteries instead.
Yes, sir.
And I guess you could, in theory, you may not have that here, but there are places where you can get time-based metering too. So you can pay less money with this system.
Correct.
What about the power goes out in the neighborhood though for 2 weeks, and by the way, it's cloudy or snowy out? Is there any other form of backup for this house?
Yes, sir. There is actually. On this house, we have 2 backup generators because the way the Tesla system works now is you have to have a generator for each gateway.
Okay.
And the gateway basically transfers power a certain direction depending on what's needed.
Gotcha.
So you can pull from the grid, you can pull from solar, or you can pull from the batteries via the gateway. So you have to have a generator for each gateway, which is why we have 2 generators backing up each one.
That's some serious resilience right there. Holy cow, that is impressive. We need to come back here. What do you think about having us back when you get all this installed?
Yes, sir.
When those power walls get in, the spans get in, it'd be really fun to see.
It'd be our pleasure.
Comment below if you want us to come back to this house and see what the Jenkins team did at the end. I think this is going to be a really cool house. Thank you so much for the tour. Very impressive. By the way, if you guys want to learn more about Jenkins Custom Homes, believe it or not, their website is newhousebuilder.com. They grabbed that in the 90s. That is so awesome. I love that that's your website address. And if you want to learn more about Tesla and the roofer that was here on site with us today, I'll put a link to both those in the description below. Very, very impressive. My first time seeing it on site. And to be honest, I thought the story really was about solar, but there's so much more interesting stuff going on here. And the last thing I want to say is, you know, this is a big house. This is a client who has the money to do whatever they want. But I think what you're going to see here is just like Cadillac came out with airbags in their cars in, I don't know, the 80s probably. And now even the least expensive Kia on the road has airbags. I suspect we're going to see the same thing happening with Tesla Solar Roof, with batteries, with the resilience story that Jenkins Custom Homes is kind of leading the pack on here, so that maybe you know, your kids, when they get involved in the business in 20 years, this is kind of a standard feature even on modestly priced houses.